Well, hello, you guys. It is a Wellness Wednesday. I know that I'm a day late, and let me just say, I'm no longer going to say that I will be here just on Tuesdays because that kind of holds me. I kind of feel bad a lot of times because I'm like, oh God, I got so much going on this day. And it's just, some days it's just so hard for me to get here on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are usually good for me, but lately I just have not been beating the mark. So let me just say that I will say from this point on that I will just be to you every week. And whatever day that falls on, that'll make me feel a little bit better with with what's going on. One second, you guys. Let me put my phone close to me because we all know this phone gets to ringing and I will just be too embarrassed if it's ringing. So I apologize. Um, Yesterday was a day as well as Monday. Yesterday was a little, we had a couple of hard 2 days where we just have to sit back and just talk to God. You know, um, this is why I call it Wellness Wednesday because Monday and Tuesday was a little hard for me. I explained to you guys over and over how this thing of losing someone is will always be a process. Put it like that. It just never goes away. Some days hit harder than others. And yes, I'm still going through it. And a lot of just like, you're not over that yet. No, you don't get over it. Just to let you know, you don't get over losing someone that like your mom. You just never get over it. So, I've had a two couple of bad days, and I don't want to say bad. Let me just erase that. Woo, let's just erase that. We're not gonna claim. I'm in this season of not saying things and claiming things in my life as bad. It was a process. I have to change the words because I don't claim things to be bad. We don't have the time, we don't have the space to sit up and say, our old saying, it's not one thing, it's another. Trash that, throw those thoughts away. Those are what we grew up on. We have to do better. That's not us anymore. We are now claiming greatness over our life. We're now claiming, you know, we're manifesting new things and better things. And sometimes you just, how the world and how the universe has it, you just go through things, right? And when you go through things, that was then, and then you move on, you leave that where it is, throw it into the abyss, and you move on. So that is where I am right now. That happened, that it was what it was. I'm no longer there. I'm claiming better days ahead. And as my pastor said, when you're going through it, you just have to say something good has got to come out of this. And sometimes that little saying can change your whole everything. And sometimes you just have to engulf yourself into those thoughts and just let it be. It'll make you feel so much better. And I had to get to that point. I couldn't come to you guys with the heaviness that I had on me. So I had to wait till I can focus, think about my message before I even bring it to you. And here I am today. So this is why it's a Wellness Wednesday. Things will happen. We're not going to claim them as bad. We're not going to claim them as, oh my God, I just wish I never, it was what it was. I've moved on. We're here. And we're going to keep going forward with this thing. And I didn't quit. I haven't quit Marriage Our Way. I know I've been slacking a little bit, but if you watch my life on Facebook, you see how I go and I'm going and I'm going, and sometimes it's like a chicken with a head cut off. But I love my life. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I try to make it the best I possibly can. I try to live it to the fullest, and that is just what I'm going to do. If you think I need to sit down, I suggest you move along because listen, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Some can't. I'm grateful that I can and that I do. And we're going to keep on moving this thing along. Okay. So I pray that you guys are having an amazing week so far. It is Wednesday. So we're here. I know we've had a couple of bad days of weather. I was actually out in it yesterday. Like, what in the world? It was a sunny day and then it turned into a day of crazy rain. I don't know what that was all about, but hey, I pray that everybody was safe throughout it because these thunderstorms have got to stop. It is like wrecking people's lives, houses, lights off everywhere. And we just got to be grateful that we wake up on the right side every day because there's some things going on out here that we have no clue about and we don't want to go through. So we just claiming better days, Lord God. And I pray that everybody's safe, well. No weapon formed against any of us shall ever prosper. And let's go on. So, my message for today is learn how to talk to each other respectfully in a marriage or in a relationship because we have to start off in a relationship. So, let's start off there. We have to start off in a relationship and then relationships turn into engagements, into marriages. So, we're talking about relationships as well. We're not just talking about just marriages here. We talk about where you start from and where you can go in this thing called marriage. Okay. So, number one, definitely learn how to talk to each other respectfully because it goes a long way. If you start that stuff in the beginning and you're talking to each other all type of ways, it's just like anything else. Habits turn into things. If you don't try to do better, they won't get better, right? So we're claiming that we're going to do better in our relationships and we're going to work on all aspects of it. Okay? Learning how to work on what you're not good at helps. I've been married for 29 years. I've been with my husband for 32 years. And we are still learning and we're still willing to learn how to be better for each other in our marriage because things are not robotic over here. We don't want things to be robotic. We don't want to just get up, go to work, eat, talk to each other a little bit, go to sleep, do it all again. That's not a marriage. You got to have some in between things that make it interesting. Okay? In between things meaning date night, fun nights with your family, uh going to visit other people, going out, going here, taking a trip, talking with each other about marriage and how we can get better. And are you happy, husband? Are you happy, wife? Is there something I can do better? My husband, I really don't ever say that. And I got to get into saying that because, it's a little scary to say, are you happy, husband? And then he tell you he's not. Oh my God. So, I mean, you can't be scared of that, but it's something that you must do. My husband does it. Excuse me, I got this mic on. My husband does it all the time. Alexia, are you happy? Is there something else I can do to be better as a husband? I respect that so much. I don't know where he gets that from, but I'm so grateful that he thinks about it and he does it. That is that, and that gives you the opportunity to say, well, and it's not just get on him, it's telling you what, so if you say something about him, then you need to say something about what you need to work on as well. Don't just, oh, well, I'll take this opportunity to just tear you down. No, well, husband, I did notice that, da, 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 but honestly and truly, my husband, he really doesn't miss. He has his moments the certain things that we don't like about each other, the little quirky things that we don't like about each other, vice versa. I'm sure he's some things about me that he doesn't like. And there are little minor things, but it's not a make or break. It's definitely not a make or break, right? It's just some things that we have to work on personally to be better for each other. That's all. So you don't take that moment or opportunity to tear somebody down when they come to you like that. You just appreciate it and be like, husband, I think you are doing a wonderful job. And I'm so grateful that you said that. And, it's very impressive, to be honest with you. It's very impressive that you even said that to me. That made my day. It will make his day as well. And it's not a lie. It's thank you for acknowledging even that. That means you thought about it, right? So as far as talking to each other like and being respectful, I always like to start with Fred and Alexia. Let me just be transparent and start with Fred and Alexia. Fred is a very aggressive talker. I am a very sensitive person. So you say boo the wrong way to me, and I'm ready to be like, oh, who you talking to? And you know what I'm saying? So in our relationship, I had to learn not to be so sensitive. That things happen, and you can't just, not that I can't be sensitive, but not so sensitive where if he is trying to get his point across and the volume might be up here, I can't hear him. My ear is falling off because I can't hear him because the volume is too high, right? Whereas I have to remember that I might have said something sideways out of my neck to him that turned on the alarm. So it's a two-way street in there. Okay, I might not be as aggressive or as loud, but I'm the calm one that's over here saying something slick out of my mouth. Or I'm very opinionated. And sometimes my opinion isn't quite what nobody asked for. He might not have asked for my opinion, but I gave it to him anyway. And so therefore, over here, he's like, well, hold on. And then I'm like, well, why you gotta talk like that? Well, why you gotta? And so then here I am, I'm on complete shutdown, and then we're not talking for however many days. That was the past. So we have now learned to try to think about things. I'm trying to get better with not saying slick things out of my mouth, not being so opinionated, to listen and not just give my opinion out the side of my neck. Listen before you say things. And then Fred is more like, let me watch what I say before I offend her. So, we've learned these things in our marriage, and it is better days now than it was before, because before it was aggressive talk and it was side mouth talking out of my mouth, and it collided, and we had to learn how to get better at that. So yes, you have to learn how to, you don't just continue on like that. Find a solution to your issue. Don't let the issue continue to go on, because that's when you get into this many years and then you realize, I don't even want to be married to you no more because I'm tired of you. I have held this for so I've held this for so long. I don't want to be married to you. That's the final thing, and we're done. Because honestly and truly, you haven't worked on those things when they were happening. You got to sit down and you got to talk and tell each other, I don't really like that you talk to me like that. I really wish that you can communicate a little bit better than the way that you do. And then, Alexia, I wish that you don't, 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 that you that you can listen a little bit more than being so opinionated and running your mouth about things that we don't really even have to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So you got to talk about these things to get better. Don't just sweep them up under the rug and think that things are going to get better. It's going to, withholding that stuff in, years later, you'll boil over and you're tired, and all of a sudden you just don't want each other anymore. I just want to be released from this. I can't continue living my life like this. I'm done. Because you haven't talked about it nowhere in the middle. You got to talk about these things somewhere when they're happening, and you know you don't like it. You got to talk about it, and you got to work on it so it can get better, so it don't spill over when you're at your prime of your life, where you're supposed to be, where it's supposed to be easy, soft life at this point. But you're still talking about the past in your soft life era. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And let me just say this: being an angry individual is hurtful. Okay? I understand that your life has been hard. I do. A lot of our lives have been hard. Okay? You can't say hurtful things because somebody told you about you. Somebody told you about you. So now you don't piss me off. So now I'm going to talk about something that is dear and near to you, and I'm going to stomp on it. And I'm going to make you feel like complete crap. You can't be like that, because you're going to find yourself by yourself. You're going to find yourself by yourself. Okay? So work on being better with that. I know that I don't like nobody to tell me. I'm a person that don't like nobody to tell me about me. Maybe because I'm an only child. I grew up how I grew up, a little privileged. I had a village. Even though I didn't have my daddy was there with his toenail in. You saw him when you saw him. He lived a couple of exits away. He went on with his life. He paid his child support, and I guess that's how he felt like he was going to take care of his child. Toenail in, might come get me every once in a while. Met his side of the family maybe once or twice, and it is what it is. But yet, I had my uncles, I had my granddad, I had my aunts, I had a whole village along with my mom to help raise me. So thankfully, I'm not so angry that he wasn't the dad that he was supposed to be, because he didn't know any better. But look, he ended up dying at the age of 47. So when I found out what he died from, it kind of brought clarity to that man was dealing with some things in his life that he couldn't bring into raising me and messing up my life because he wasn't right. Okay? So some people you have to give grace. I say it all the time, you have to give grace to people because people go through things in life that you have no idea about. So talking the way that you talk to each other, work on not bringing the mess that you were raised in into this marriage, into the way you speak to that person, into it turns into a thing. So angry individuals say hurtful things. They pride themselves in saying hurtful things, and you have to be woman or man enough to say, hey, I don't like that. You got to find a better way to talk to me, because that ain't it. It's okay. And then hopefully that person understands what you're saying, and then they will actually work on it. Okay. Also, that angry individual that talks to you any type of way, that's a sign, and you're about to embark on tumultuous times. Know that if you're in this relationship and you see that this person is always angry and always talking hard at you and always that's a sign that you're about to embark on some tumultuous times, okay, in your marriage and in your relationship. So I would advise you to find out how to put a stop to that, because if you let it go on and on and on and on, then that's when in this soft life era you will then be dealing with the craziness. Know that there are triggers in these disrespectful ways that people talk to you. I'm sorry. Texts and phone calls. Um, there are triggers that people have in their lives. I'm sorry. There are triggers. So sometimes when you're in a disagreement, have you ever realized that a person might snap all of a sudden and you be like, wait a minute, I ain't never seen that. That's new. That's because they have triggers from childhood, something that happened in their lives that you probably haven't even talked about. Um, um, you haven't talked about it. You haven't even, because you're embarrassed that you have these triggers, but this is your significant other. This is the person that you say that you want to spend your life with. So you got to talk to them about the things that go on with you, because if you don't talk to them about it, again, you'll find yourself somewhere in the 8th, ninth, 10th, 11th year of marriage dealing with this thing that you should have talked about maybe from the beginning before you even got married. That's why marriage counseling is very important in life, because you are learning some of the things that you haven't even thought about or talked about in the beginning. Haven't talked about it. And, some of us just want to be in a relationship and married so bad that we don't even care. We just want to be in this fairy tale of, I just want to be happy. I want this man right here. And all that stuff comes with him. We'll deal with that later. Well, you don't even know half of the trauma that this person came up in. You got to know this stuff, because if you don't know the traumas that the person has come up with, you're not going to know how to give them grace when they snap or they flip on you. You're not going to be, I don't know if you're adult enough to deal with, hold on, let's talk about it. Everybody doesn't have the counsel, the counsel in them to give to a person when they snap. Because everybody do realize that there will be a snapping point in your marriage. If you don't, talk to some people that have been married and they can tell you exactly what I'm talking about. There are going to be times in your life where you just snap because you're having a not so good day. Something happened. You were triggered. Anything, and when your mouth just goes, you just vomit all of a sudden at the mouth, and your significant other didn't even know that you were even capable of that. Again, we have to get to know people better. We got to get to know them better and stop living in a fairy tale of what you want so bad that you're ignoring half of the signs and half of the things that go on in life. Don't ignore. Don't ignore it. Please, because small things turn into big things. I've seen it happen in my own marriage. Because I don't want to deal with that later on, eventually you're going to deal with it. You can sweep it up under the rug, you can hide it, I don't want to, you got to talk about it to move further into this good part of marriage. Let me tell you, this part of my marriage, I never thought could happen. Like, I never thought that I would be here and so happy in my marriage. I remember a certain point, I tell you about that 8th year mark for me and Fred was the trying times for us, was the time where it almost made or broke us. Or like my friend says, we like the not made it. We like the not made it. I love when he said it. We like the not made it. Okay? It was just a trying time. And I didn't know if we were gonna make it. I'm so sorry. Y'all, that phone. What would we do without phones? Um, yeah, we like it was very hard times. So to be here at this point in our marriage where we are completely one now. We moved together, and a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people really don't understand that y'all always together. How is that possible? And y'all actually like each other. How is that possible? And when I see y'all, or when people around us, they're always telling us they're so proud of us because they watch us and we just laugh and we just have a good time. And they cannot believe we really genuinely love each other after we've been together so many years. And maybe that's what it is. We kind of grew up together. So we grew up together. And now it's a little bit easier. We understand each other. We get it. We get each other. You know, um, we still have our moments where he get triggered, I get triggered, but we talk through it. Okay, so if you work on the way that you talk to each other, you'll get to this part of your life. You'll make it here to the 29th mark, to the almost 30 mark. You'll make it here with less hiccups. Got to work on it. Everything takes work. Everything in life is work. Everything in life is work. You can't do shortcuts. You can't. I know we want to. I'm a person that loves shortcuts. I personally love shortcuts, but I can't take them. I can't take them in this marriage. I put too much into this, so I can't take shortcuts when it comes to this. This is one out of this many things that have happened in my life. That's amazing. Because there's a lot of things that's happened in people's life that you just don't want to say that you even went through, and you don't want to acknowledge that you've went through. It's this marriage of mine is, and my children, and where I am in life now, is some things that I didn't see for myself. I didn't see for myself. I came up in I had a good life, but I was a negative person. I was more of, that can't happen for me. I'm not worthy enough for that to happen for me. I'm just, good things don't happen to me. That's how I kind of, in my head. Nobody raised me on that. I raised myself on, good things don't happen to me. So when I got way up in my marriage, I had to let go of that negativity. When I found out about speaking better things into your life, I went to church, I saw it on a podcast or something like that, and they were talking about how to take the bad words out and replace it with good. Once I learned that, life just took off. Life took off. Speaking positively works. So you got to let go of that anger. You got to let go of that disrespect when you're talking to people, and learn how to talk to people with a good sound mind, and positively, and throw away that negativity. Because I have realized, I don't know how I got this far in my life. I'm amazed every day at how I used to think. Where I am in life right now, I am amazed every day. Everything that's in it, everything that I have. How in the world could somebody like me obtain that? A negative thinker. How could I get there? How could my marriage survive with me talking negative in it? How are we here at 29 years, at 32 years total? How are we here? How we're here? I let go of the negative things. How we're here? My husband works on him. How we're here? I work on me every day. So there's not a know-it-all in this relationship. You can't be a know-it-all in a marriage. You can't. I know I've been through this already. You have not, so you can't talk about that. Don't shut people down. That's not right. Learn how to talk to each other. Stop bringing that mess from old relationships. Be like, I've been through this already. You don't know nothing about that. You don't have nothing to say on it because you ain't never been through this. I'm telling you, I've been through this. And this is what it is. This is what we're going to do. Stop that. That person's opinion in a situation means a lot as well. Let them talk. Let them tell you what they're experiencing with you. Let them tell you that. Let them tell you where they feel like you're wrong, whether you want to hear it or not. Let them tell you what they're experiencing so they can move on in life. You can work on that and you can get to the good part. Okay? Stop with the disrespect. Please. It's a lot. When I say it's a lot when it comes to disrespect, talk respectfully to each other in your marriage and in your relationship, because I don't know what to tell you on where you would be if you don't work on it. Being hurtful is whack. Being mean is whack. Being angry is whack. Time out. Cut it out. Let's work on it. Let's be better. All right. So that was my message for today. Learn how to talk to each other respectfully in a marriage. Do better. Work on it. And let's get to this good part of life, because it is definitely a good part in marriage. And I have experienced it for myself. And I would love for everybody to meet us here at this point. I'll be further on, but at least I can kind of navigate you to this point. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for rocking with me so long. Um, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, number one, then like and share. Hit the bell for me. Tell a friend. Pass this message along to somebody who might be going through some things. You know, I have a lot of different subjects on my past shows. So send them to somebody. Tell them to like and subscribe. Send it out, because these are the things that you will be going through in your marriage, whether you know it or not. Because I have some things I haven't even touched yet. But when I do, I claim that we can navigate through it and we will be at our best and grown and mentally sane, where we can deal with it and it's in the past. All right? Tell somebody, call somebody today. Tell them that you're thinking about them, because you never know what people are going through. God knows I went through that on Monday and Tuesday, and a phone call probably would have did me good, but that's okay, because I know God and I know that He will bring me through anything that I'm going through. Thankfully, I didn't get a phone call from anybody, but God saw me through, and I'm so grateful. But if you give somebody that phone call and just let them know, because they've been quiet and you haven't heard from them, give them a call. Tell them just thinking about you, and I just want to know if you're okay. And they'll let you know if they were or not. And then you can talk about it, and you can talk about it and kind of talk with them through it. And then it'll make a better day for them. And that will be your good deed of the day. All right. Love you. Take care. See you next week. Bye.